okay, son. Everything's gonna be fine.
I'm gonna die.
Not if we can help it.
My head's so burny.
How did this happen?
Oh, he caught the cold off me.
Just don't think, do you?
So I'm a bit confused. Hasn't he just got a cold?
For God's sake, woman, he's a man. He's got a man cold.
Yep, that was me. You should have seen me the last couple of days. I had a man cold big time. Thought I was going to die yesterday.
I thought I was going to die yesterday.
Thank goodness I'm feeling a little better now. So if I had to do this yesterday, I wouldn't have been able to do it. It's that simple. I could not have done it. But thank goodness things seem to have cleared up a little bit here, and I'm feeling a little better. But I'm here. It's going to be a short one because I'm still not feeling 100%. But what we're going to get into here tonight is you surviving a blackout, a grid down situation, and sub-zero temperatures or close to that. Not your house, not preparing your house, wrapping your plumbing, stuff like that. Not your car, no. You. We're going to take care of you. There's just a few items I'm going to recommend here. If you look down below in the description box, there's a link there to my Amazon store. That's an affiliate link. And the few items I'm going to show you here tonight, they're available there if you want to go get them. If you live in somewhere where it's really cold, I think you really should consider getting these because, see that right there? Right there, right there. Deep freeze warning, guys. It's coming. It's going to hit hard. And they're talking about how it's going to be an event similar to what happened in January and February 21 in Texas. We all know what happened there. There was a total of 246 people died because they had a grid down situation there. And we don't want you to get caught up like that. But first, I wasn't going to say anything about this at all. I wasn't going to get political. I was just going to do this thing here about, protecting you and get out of here because I don't feel all that well. But with what's happening right now in the Middle East, the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, the Netherlands, a couple other countries, they launched an attack on Houthi rebels in Yemen because they actually seized an oil tanker today and took control of it. The terrorists did. So America had to respond. And sadly, our commander-in-chief, what they called a lid, which means he's not going to say anything else the rest of the day. He did that at 1800 this evening, 6 o'clock this evening. So we don't know who's doing what. We don't know who's running what. But supposedly our military forces are involved in a major attack in the Middle East right now. And we're in the dark. It's crazy. After Lloyd Austin pulled his little stunt, going in the hospital, not telling anybody, being out of touch for, 2 weeks now.
December 22nd, he went in the hospital the first time.
Yeah, December 22nd is when he went to the hospital. This is the guy that's the Secretary of Defense. And the President of the United States didn't know where he was. Now, that wouldn't be too bad if he had a assistant director that was worth a crap. But the Assistant Secretary of Defense was on vacation out of the country and couldn't be contacted. And then the third person in charge was at home with the flu. Oh my goodness. We're talking about the safety of the United States of America while we're fighting wars on two fronts in the Middle East and Eastern Europe. They can blow all the smoke up your skirt they want about how we're not involved. Yes, we are. Especially in the Middle East, we had the biggest maritime, activation of personnel, movement of personnel since World War II, and we don't know who's in charge, and a guy that's supposed to be is already asleep in the middle of a major attack. You know, they might wake him up to roll him over and wipe his ass after he shits himself. But this is ridiculous, folks. These people are clowns. They're putting our entire nation in danger because they don't know what they are doing. Lloyd Austin, my ass. He was a little butter bar lieutenant one day. He came out of college one day and got those bars right off the bat. And if he had somebody in his command go AWOL like that, I'm sure he went ape shit. Let me be honest with you. And then he pulls the same thing as supposedly a 4-star general for the United States Army, the Secretary of Defense for this nation, and this guy goes AWOL. They're getting under my skirt. They're pissing me off because they're putting the entire nation in danger because they don't know what they're doing. They don't take their job serious, especially people like Austin. I mean, he's a perfect example of what we get when somebody's promoted or put in a position not based on their dedication, their job performance, their loyalty to the country, but because of, you know why. If I say it, they're probably going to shut this off, so I'm not going to say it. We all know why he's there. And his second in command's the same way. We know why she's there. These people are going to get us killed. And they don't care. I wasn't going to go off on this rant tonight, but after this attack that they say is happening right now, I think something needs to be said. Somebody needs to step up and call it like it is so everybody out there will know what's happening to our country. This circus in Washington, D.C. is going to get us all killed. I just, I didn't mean to get off on that rant. I really didn't. Sorry, I said a few things I might not should have, but that's just the way I feel. Something's got to be done before a serious problem is at our door. We got our southern borders wide open. We got God knows who's coming across that border down there. And every day you see they detain this many people. No, they didn't detain shit. They processed them and then they sent them on off into the United States somewhere. And then they're going to run their name in a little computer database connected to, the internet that's going to a computer in some third world country where they barely have electricity for lighting. You think they're going to be able to track these people, who they actually are? Nope. They're not going to be able to do it. It's impossible. We don't know who's in this country. And it's getting worse by the day. I didn't want to get off on that rant.
Back to the cold weather.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I had a cold the last couple of days.
He's cranky.
I am cranky. I'm cranky as hell. I didn't mean to get off on that. Sorry, guys, but sometimes the truth just got to be told. I even did that before I did roll call. Let me see who's here. Dang it.
Tammy Joe says, preach it over.
Yeah, who we got here? Glenn Anderson, my man down in Texas. You got some weather coming your way, and we're going to talk about it, buddy. Nick L's in the house. All right, that's one of my locals right there. He says, hello to Tucker and family. You got that right. You did. You got that one right. Lynn is with us. There's my girl right there. I'm sure my other girl's down in there somewhere, Tammy Joe. I'll get to her in a minute if she's there. Here we go. Marcia Cross. Yeah, balmy state of Iowa. Are you ready for that 11 degrees below zero you got coming?
Oh, Lord.
I'm glad it's you and not me. Buzz Runner's with us. My man. All right. Tammy Joe, there she is. I knew she'd be here somewhere. Yeah. All right. Wanda's back. Thank you, Wanda, for being here. Sorry I went up on that rant, guys. I really am. But that was eating at me. Since I heard that, that major attack's going on and President Puddinghead's already asleep, that pissed me off. Move on. Fluffy Otter's with us. Hello. All right. Patty's back with us. Short-lived Saints with us. There's the man, the OG, ex-NYC. All right. My man right there. Patriot Ordnance is back with us. Who else we got down here? Debbie Jones is with us tonight. Yeah. Her and Rob. Here's a new one. Edith Wallace, appreciate it. Yeah, they sure did. They attacked Yemen, but our president don't know anything about it. He's already asleep. How's that make you feel? That guy's a... Sorry, Rebecca, if I said something that you objected to, but I had to put it out there, girl. I had to tell it the way I felt it. Katie, 27320. All right. Thanks for being in here. Who else we got? Anybody? Beverly. There we go. Hey, she wants to say hello to everybody, and there she is. All right. All right, then. Let's get on to what we were here for. I was going to do this real quick and get out of here and let you guys go. This cold's still kicking my butt. But like I said, if you'll remember back in Texas just 3 years ago, it's been 3 years ago this month, 246 people froze to death because the grid went down and a big part of the state of Texas had no power whatsoever, and the depths of a tremendous cold spell and a blizzard. Well, the odds of that happening again are actually increasing because right here's a few headlines taken off of Reuters over the last week or so. As you can see, it's all over the country. The bottom headline down there tells it like it is. Joe Biden has pledged to shut down 60% of our power grid right now that's running off coal and fuel oil. Like we actually have something to replace that. He's pledged to shut down 60% of it by the end of his presidency. Well, if he does, guess what? That's just going to throw more stress on what's already out there. And we already don't have enough. If we did, all those people in Texas wouldn't have died a few years ago. And we're talking about all over the country. It's not just Texas. It's the Midwest, the Southeast, the West, Southwest, everywhere. They're shutting down these coal plants and these fuel burning plants to try to go with John Kerry's Green New Deal socialist crap. And people are going to die. And they don't care. So you need to get ready. Now, how quick is it coming at us? Well, let's take a look here. Right here. National Weather Service pulled this today. Polar vortex with extreme weather events set to slam the U.S. And that means the entire U.S. I think probably about the only part of the country that's not covered under this extreme weather advisory was the Southwest. But it don't matter because you can go to that website that I tell you to go to, poweroutage.usa. I think that's it. Let me double check here and make sure. Yeah, poweroutage.us. You can go there any day and you'll see that in California, they have a power shortage. Every day. That map will tell you, how many customers they have, how many customers are out. During this past week, when that cold front moved across the country, I was watching that, and I could just see as that front moved across the nations, I could see states changing colors on that map where people were losing power. And pretty much everybody in the Southeast, up along the Eastern Seaboard, the Midwest and the Northeast, every state was yellow or orange, which, designates the severity of the outage. But every one of them had customer outages, and you could see it happening across the country as that weather front moved across the country. But you can see right here what they're predicting for the next couple of weeks. This was actually yesterday. It's going to be below normal temperatures for the majority of the United States. And it's supposed to get really into like a deep freeze in the South, like Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, places like that. It's supposed to get really, really cold there. especially this weekend. It's coming. But the good thing is there's not supposed to be a lot of precipitation. Supposed to be kind of dry. But we all know when it gets cold and it's really dry, that's when it gets really, really cold. I mean, I know right now up in Iowa where Marcia and the Iowa crowd are, you guys have been hammered with snow. I don't know if you guys are expecting any more or not, but I know it's going to get better cold up there. So what we got to do tonight, what I'm going to try to do tonight is help you protect yourself when those cold temperatures hit and that power goes out and you got no heat. If you don't have a fireplace, if you don't have a wood burning stove, we're going to try to tell you how to get through that if it's days on end with no power. Happy to see you with us. All right. Thank you for being here. What we got here? What's Fluffy saying? Whatever happened in Alberta Clipper? Oh, yeah, renamed this. Yeah, it's a polar vortex. You know, back in my day when I was younger, we used to call that a cold front. We didn't try to scare the hell out of people and give it some fancy ass name, but dry heat. So it ain't so bad. Yeah, you think that till your ass is freezing off. But yeah, that dry cold, he said, not heat. But when it gets dry and cold, thank goodness you don't have to worry about being wet. But it gets down to the bone, that's for sure. But just a couple of items, guys, that could help save you. And then I'm going to get out of here. My lungs are starting to stop up. This cold's getting the best of me. But first one I'm going to recommend, I've recommended before. It's a little Mr. Buddy heater. Now, these things are safe to use indoors, but they're propane heaters. I guarantee you, if you get a small room like a 10 by 10 or a 10 by 12, and you put this in it, and you keep that room closed up, it's going to be toasty, I promise you. If you have enough propane, that's the thing. These little heaters run off 1 gallon propane tanks. You can see it right there on the side of the unit. It will run on high for 3 hours. That's 9,000 BTUs of heat. It will run on high for 3 hours on a 1 pound tank, or it will run on low for 6 hours. And that's all you need. If you keep that room closed up, if you don't have a small room, if you want to seal it up, seal off an area of your house with some like plastic sheeting or whatever. Now we're talking really cold temperatures, guys. Not like it's going to be here in Florida. I mean, we're going to survive, but we're up in Iowa with Marcia and the crowd, or down in Texas with Glenn and those folks.
NYC says he uses
NYC says he uses one of those. That's good, because that's what it'll do the job. It'll keep you warm. I don't care how cold it gets outside. If you keep that room or that area sealed up and you have one of these and you got it running, it's going to keep you alive. I promise you. We use one of those in our camper when we're out on cold nights, and we have to turn it off. We do. We're running it on low and we have to turn it off. And that's in our camper because it just gets too hot. So I guarantee you that's going to work. Get you one of those and get you, you saw how long it works on a 1 pound canister. I would recommend at least 10 of those canisters for maybe, 5 days to 7 days of heat.
Fluffy said you can use the larger propane tank with an adapter and filter.
Yes, you can. But I don't recommend that, because a lot of people will buy the hose with the regulator on it, and they won't buy the filter, and they'll run it from the propane tank straight into the heater, and that'll eventually stop up that heater. But you're right. If you get that filter you put in that line, it'll run on one of those 20-pound propane tanks like you use in your grill for, I couldn't imagine how long, because I've never done it. I can't tell you how long. I probably need to do that. I need to do a test and do that for you guys.
Happy to See You said this is another tip too, to put a pop-up tent in the room you're sleeping
Yep.
in. If you sleep in the tent or put it on top of your king size bed,
Yep.
you can
Yep.
get that body heat inside your tent.
Yep, I've said that before. That is a good idea. Get you a small tent to set up inside your house. And get those little cheap Mylar emergency blankets that you see everywhere and just tape them around the outside of that tent. And that will hold that body heat in that tent. If you get a little 4-man tent, you can set it up in your living room, dining room, wherever. And you can, but I wouldn't recommend running that heater in there unless you have a fire extinguisher. You got to make sure anywhere you have an open flame or you have a concealed heat source, you want to make sure you have a fire extinguisher.
Marcia asked, does Amazon deliver propane?
I don't think they'll deliver gases, but you can pick them up at Walmart. I know here you can buy 2 of those tanks for $10. I remember when they were $2.50. Wasn't that long ago, about 3 years ago. But that would be a good idea to get that heater and get you about 10 or 12 of those tanks. It will save your life, believe me. Now, the next thing we're going to move on to, so simple, so easy, so small, so cheap, but it will save your life. Hope this shows. It's called an emergency bivvy. Right here in this little container right here. It's like a sleeping bag. I'm not going to open this up because it'll be all over the house, all over the room, I should say. And then I'll have to fold it back up. It's basically a vinyl bag, thick vinyl, with a mylar liner on the inside. Now, if you get one of these, just like that right there that you see, you can put a sleeping bag inside of it because they are 7 feet long and 3 feet wide. You can easily put a sleeping bag inside of this bag. Or you can put blankets in there. You could wrap yourself up in blankets in here. These are rated at 90% heat retention. That means it's going to hold 90% of your body heat while you're inside this. Wrap yourself in a blanket, a couple of blankets, a sleeping bag inside this bag. Guarantee you, if you have that heater going, like I told you, on low, you're going to wind up coming out of here. Because it's just not going to let your body heat out. It's going to keep that heat in on you. And if it's 10 degrees outside and you're wrapped up in this and you got 98.6 along with that heat source, that's minus 10%. Remember that. You're going to stay warm. There's no way you're going to freeze to death. Absolutely not. We don't want any more of what happened in Texas happening again. Because here we are in the 21st century and we have people freezing to death in the most advanced country in the world because our power grid is so weak that it fails. But you can hedge that off, guys. Easy, just like I told you, these 2 items. On top of your flashlights, your lanterns, candles. If you're going to use candles or flame lanterns, like I said, make sure you have that fire extinguisher there. Okay, we're not even getting into cooking here. If you want to cook, of course, it's best to step outside and cook, but there are ways to do that with MREs, the military ready-to-eat meals. Takes no flame. You cook them in a bag and it heats your meals up. But if you're going to do that, I only recommend that you buy the entrees. They are also in my Amazon store, affiliate link below, with the bags that they cook in. Like I said, there's no flames involved. But these are things you got to think about. They're talking about this cold front being as bad as it was in 2021, and then another one coming along right behind it to make it even worse and extend it, over, 5 or 6 days. They're talking about it getting cold even down in Miami.
Lynn said heat up a cast iron skillet, wrap it up in a blanket, and shove it in your sleeping bag.
There you go. Yeah, but I mean, you got to have a flame to do that, buddy. So,
Yeah, that's true.
but that will heat up your bed. That's for damn sure.
Those things hold the heat for a while.
That's old school stuff right
It
there.
is.
But that's the way they used to do it back in the day. Now even here in Florida, we have what they call the iguana index. I don't know if most people know what that is. Let me see.
Thank God it's south of Orlando.
Let me
That's
see
all
if
I
I-
got to say.
Let me see if I got a slide for that.
Oh
It's
my God,
hilarious.
if this was in Orlando, I would die.
Let me
I've
see
been
if I got
moving to
something.
Iowa, Marcia.
I think I do, and I forgot to put it in here. But you guys got to see this. It's hilarious. Here we go. Let me get this in here. When iguanas get body temperature drops down to 45 degrees or less, they go dormant. And here in Florida, they start just dropping out of the trees. They'll go comatose and just drop out of the trees. But as you can see right here, they've already called for, the iguana index to be in effect on Friday and Saturday night. It's going to be cold down here in Florida. We're going to get cold. And if you read my second book, you know what I'm talking about, because I actually used that in my second book. Hang on. Let me give myself a plug here. Here we go. Don't Tread on Me by K.T. Dixon. There we go. There's a pretty little funny thing in there about using that iguana index. And that's just one of the 4 books in that series. But Rebecca's already reading it. Thank you so much. I think you'll enjoy that. I appreciate it very much. But it's going to get cold, guys. You got to get ready for it. Winter is just now starting. This is just the first serious cold snap we've had. And the second one is coming this weekend. And then there's another one right on the heels of that.
On the bright side, it's going to be 80 tomorrow.
Where?
Here.
It's going to be 80 here tomorrow?
I believe tomorrow it's 80, and then it drops like a rock.
Oh, my goodness. Well, what's going on with tomorrow's Friday, and they're calling for the iguanas to fall out of the trees.
I think it's tomorrow.
All right. That's Florida. You wake up, put your shorts on, go to bed with your long johns on. That's the
I
way
did that
Florida
last
is.
week, that one day. Remember, I changed 3 times during the day? I was that meme. I was a Facebook meme all day long.
Where can I purchase these books? Oh, my goodness. If you go to Amazon and just type in Seminole Wind in books, and then look for K.T. Dixon as the author. It's a series of 4 books. I think you guys will, most of you know what it is. But like I said, you'll enjoy them. I know you'll enjoy them.
Ralph says he's going to buy all 4 of them.
I hope so. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But that one right there is it's a fun little book. It's a lot more hilarious than the others in the series, but they are good books. If you can't find them on Amazon, I know they're there, but see that you can see my email address right down there below my name, theorlandoprepper@gmail.com. Shoot me an email and I'll send you a link going directly to my author's page. It's K.T. Dixon, K.T. Dixon, Dixon, on Amazon. And I'll send you a link to all of them, like I said, all of them. But just get that stuff to keep you warm, guys. I didn't want to get too complicated tonight. Didn't want to get into a lot of stuff because this cold weather's right on top of us. But if you get that little heater, you get these little bivvies. I know X has got one of these because I sent it to him. Guarantee you will not freeze to death as long as that heater's working and you're bundled up in this with a couple of blankets or a sleeping bag. I promise you. But thank you for putting up with my rant at the start. Really didn't plan that. It just came out of nowhere.
Well, it needed to be said.
But every now and then, sometimes you just got to say what you got to say. But 479 right now. Oh, looks to me like they got it on sale. I don't care as long as I get my cut.
You're making big money off that
Yeah.
479.
As long as I get my cut, I don't care.
Mama needs
Actually,
some new shoes.
yeah.
Buy the books.
Actually, the series was released about
Yeah,
8 years ago, something like that.
it's been out a while now.
So I made my share of money off of them, guys. I bought a Cadillac and a couple of BMWs. So if you can get them at a bargain price, you go for it. I just hope you enjoy them. Metal made it. All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I did get a little interest from Hollywood for that first book, Seminole Wind. That's still up in the air. So we'll see what happens with that. If it happens, that's great. If it don't, it didn't cost me a damn penny. But all right then. Get ready for it, guys. Get ready for that cold air. It's coming.
Kill Bill says lizards falling out of trees. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's life in Florida, buddy.
I know.
Yeah. Lizards falling out of trees. It's life here in Florida. So let me get out of here. If you guys got any questions about anything prepper related or about those books, shoot me that email, theorlandoprepper@gmail.com. I'll be glad to answer your questions. I answer every email, every one of them, unless it's something stupid, which I get occasionally. I need to read you guys some of my stupid email. I'm going to do that next week.
Oh, that'd be fun. You'd have a stupid email segment every week and read
Yeah.
one stupid email.
Don't try to make the list. Don't send me something
Yeah.
stupid on purpose. You don't have to, believe me. I get plenty from a lot of folks. So, all right, we're going to get out of here. All right, then. Appreciate you guys being here with me. I love every one of you. Get ready for the cold, folks. Stay strong. Keep prepping and pray for the United States. The Orlando Prepper is out.